Hello everyone, welcome to S2S Classes. Today we'll study the chapter 3, How Many Squares. So before starting, please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. So starting with the chapter, measure the sides of the red square on the dotted sheet. Draw here as many rectangles as possible using 12 such squares. Okay, so if we see, there are 4 sides of the square. Now we have 12 such squares and we need to make rectangles. So one can be like this. Okay, 1 square, 2 square, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So one rectangle can be like this. If we talk about another rectangle, it can be somewhat like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. Okay, so in this manner you can also try. Okay, so how many rectangles you were able to make? So if in total you will be able to make 6 rectangles. Okay, in total you will be able to make 6 rectangles using it. Okay, now try this and then find out each rectangle is made of 12 equal squares. So all have the same area, okay, but the length of the boundary will be different. If you see this rectangle, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there it has a boundary which is 16 units long. But if we see this one, there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So the boundary is only 14 units long. Okay, so when you make all the possible rectangles, then you need to find which of these rectangles has the smallest and the longest perimeter, that is the boundary. Okay, so the length of the boundary is known as the perimeter. Now measure the stamps. Look at these interesting stamps. How many squares of 1 centimeter side does stamp A cover? So you need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and 1, 2 and 3. So we multiply 6 with 3 and we get the answer 18. Okay, so the answer for A is 18. Now we move on to the second question, that is, and stamp B. So if we talk about stamp B, it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So 8 squares by stamp B. Now moving ahead, which stamp has the biggest area? Okay, so you need to calculate that which stamp has the biggest area. So it is clear that the stamp A has the biggest area. And how many squares does it cover? It covers 18 squares. Okay, so how much is the area of the biggest stamp? It is 18 square centimeter. Okay, now the question is, which two stamps have the same area? So you need to count all, and if you observe stamp D and F, so they have the same area with 12 square centimeter. Okay, they both have the same area. Then we have the question D, that is the area of the smallest stamp is, so the smallest is clearly E, which has an area of 1, 2, 3 and 4 square centimeter. Now the difference between the area of the smallest and the biggest stamp is, so the biggest stamp had the area of 18, the smallest has an area of 4, and when we subtract we get 14 square centimeter. Okay, so you need to collect some old stamps and place them on square grid, and then you can also find out their area and perimeter. Now the question is, you need to guess which has the bigger area, one of your footprints or the page of this book. Okay, so there's a few things that you need to guess on your own. So what do you think? The most preferably the page of the book will have a greater area. Now which has the smaller area, 200 rupee notes together or a 100 rupee note? So two notes will obviously have greater area. Okay, now look at a 10 rupee note. Is its area more than 100 square centimeter? Okay, so clearly the area of a 10 rupee note is less than 100 square centimeter. Now is the area of the blue shape more than the area of the yellow shape? Okay, so we can say that the area of blue shape or the yellow shape, which one is more? Can you say that? Okay, so if we see the area of them can be considered equal only, but because if we take this part and we join it like this, then both of these shapes will become similar only. Now is the perimeter of the yellow shape more than that of the perimeter of the blue shape? So you can measure this and then you can find out, is the perimeter same in this case or not? Okay, so now we'll move ahead and you will find out that the perimeter of the blue shape is more. Now how big is my hand? Trace your hand on the squared sheet. You will find a square sheet on the next page. So how will you decide whose hand is bigger, your hand or your friend's hand? So what you will do is you will measure the area of your hand and your friend's hand. Okay, so on this sheet you can draw your handprint and then decide. Now it is about the footprints. So whose footprint is larger, yours or your friend's? So you need to decide and discuss and find out how you will know this. Now we'll talk about the animals. So the baby rhino says, my skin has many folds, so I have a big area. This way the air all over me keeps me cool. So the elephant says, what is the area of my footprint? Whereas the ant also says, what is the area of my footprint? Okay, so you need to guess which animal's footprint will have the same area as yours. So you need to think and write this down, that which animal will have the same area as yours. Now moving ahead, here are some footprints of animals in actual size. So guess the area of the footprint. Okay, so you need to guess the area of the footprint. So one, I'll help you out. So this can be 1, this is 2. Then if we consider both of these, so this can be 3, both of these combined. Then over here we have 4. Then combining both the 3 of these, we can get 5. Then this will be 6, 7, 8 and 9. So you can say a dog has 9 square centimeter. The area is 9 square centimeter. So in this manner you can just discuss. Now moving ahead, make big squares and rectangles like this to find the area faster. So what you can do is we can make big squares and rectangles like this to find areas easily, like this. So it will be easier for you to find the areas. You can directly find the areas of these squares and triangles. Square and rectangle, the areas can be found easily, and then you can calculate what is the area of the footprint. Okay, in this manner you can calculate. Now how many squares in me? So over here you need to calculate what is the area of this triangle. So the area of this is half the rectangle of the area 2 square centimeter. So the area will be half, that is 1. The area will be 1 square centimeter. Now is this shape half of the big rectangle over here? Is it half? So if we see this is also half, the area will be 4 square centimeter. So which of these, which you need to write the areas of these shapes. Now if we see the shape A, clearly it is half the area of the rectangle that I have drawn. So the area of the rectangle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So the area of A is 6. Then you can also find the area of B, and similarly in this manner only. For this shape what you can do is you can break this into rectangles and triangles, and then you can find. So the area will be equal to the area of this plus the area of this plus the area of the rectangle. So in this manner you can find all the areas. But still, if you have any doubts, you can visit our app S2S Classes, where you will get the answers to all the questions. Now try triangles. Both the big triangles in this rectangle have the same area. Okay, Samina says. But Sadik says that they look very different. So the blue triangle is half the area of the big rectangle, and the area of the big rectangle is 20 centimeter square. So the area of the blue triangle is 10. And what about the red triangle? Okay, so if we talk about the red triangle, you can also calculate about the red triangle and try finding the answer, and you will find that they both are the same. It's in it there are two halves of different rectangles. Now what you can do is, if you divide it, it can be divided into two triangles. One is this and the other one is this. Okay, so you can find the areas separately and then add. Now yes, Sadik says you are right, and you know what, you can draw many more triangles of area 10 square centimeter in the rectangle. So you can try that on your own. Now complete the shape. Suruchi drew two sides of a shape. She asked Asif to complete the shape with two more sides so that it has an area of 10 square centimeter. So he completed the shape like this over here. Now she asked, how did you do this? So he said, oh, that's easy. If you look at the green area, it is 4 square centimeter. Below it is the yellow area of 6 square centimeter. So the area of my shape is 10 square centimeter. So is he correct? Do you think that he is correct or not? Okay, so yes, he is correct. Now explain how the green area is 4 square centimeter and the yellow area is 6. So if we see the yellow area, it is half the area of this triangle, this rectangle that I have drawn. If you see the green area, the green triangle, it can be divided into two triangles like this. Okay, and these two triangles are half the areas of these squares, so you can calculate this. Now moving ahead, oh, I thought of it differently. If you draw like this, the area is still 10 square centimeter. So do you think, is Suruchi correct? Then you need to explain that how much is the area of the blue one. So how will you calculate that? Again, you can divide this blue triangle into two, this one and this one, and then you can make rectangles and calculate the area. Okay, so just think of some other ways and try it yourself also. Now there is some practice time which you can try and perform. So these are a few activities that you can perform on your own. Now puzzle with 5 squares. Measure the side of a small square on the squared paper on page number 45. Okay, so we'll move ahead and make as many shapes as possible using 5 such squares, and 3 are drawn for you. Okay, so we can make many shapes like this, which 3 are visible on your screen. So just try and make as many shapes as you can. So it can be either like this, or you can also draw something like this. Okay, so just try on your own and draw as many shapes with 5 squares. So how many different shapes can you draw? So you can see that you need to draw all the possible shapes, and then you need to calculate the shortest perimeter and the longest perimeter, and what is the area. Area will always be the same, that is 5 square centimeter, as 5 squares are being used. Now moving ahead, you can say, see here it's written, did you get all the 12 shapes? Okay, so in total you will be able to make total 12 shapes. Now you need to draw them on a cardboard and try to arrange the 12 shapes in some way to make a rectangle which is 10 by 6, which means 10 squares like this, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 6 squares like this. So you need to make a rectangle like this. Okay, and try to fit all of them in this. Now it's game time. Here is a chessboard. Play this game with your partner with one set of 12 shapes. Okay, now you need to make the first player picks one shape from the set and puts it on the board covering any 5 squares. The other player picks another shape and puts it on the board, but it must not overlap the first shape. Now you need to keep one by one, and whoever puts the last piece wins. Okay, when someone is not able to put any more pieces onto it, he or she will lose the game. Now make your own tile. Remember the float patterns in Math Magic book in 4th class. Okay, so you had to choose the correct tile which would be repeated to make a pattern so that there were no gaps left. Okay, so Ziri went to a shop and was surprised to see the different designs of tiles on the floor. Okay, so aren't these designs beautiful? Now can you find the tile which is repeated to make each of the floor patterns? So I need to circle a tile in each pattern. So if we see one by one, you can divide these and find the tiles which are used to make different, like this shape is being repeated again and again. Now you see over here, you can see this is being repeated again and again. So this is one such tile. So in this manner only, if you see over here, this is being repeated again and again. So these are one tile which is repeated again and again. Now after looking at the pattern, Ziri wanted to make her own yellow tile. So you to make a tile in this way, these are the steps written which you can perform and make a tile of your own. So make a pattern using your tile. Trace the shape to repeat it on a page. But remember, there must be no gaps between them. Okay, so this is the shape that Ziri made, and she placed it in such a manner that there is no gap between them, and it made a floor pattern. Now you need to answer these, that how many tiles has she used. Okay, so 1 2 3 4, so in total there are 12 tiles that she has used. And you also know the area, as you only have made the tile along with her, so you need to find the area. Now Ziri tried to make some other tiles. She started with a square of 2 cm side and made shapes like this, which are shown like A, B, C and D. Now look at these carefully and find out which of these shapes will tile a floor without any gaps. Okay, so you need to discuss and what is the area of these shapes, so you need to discuss that also. Okay, so clearly shape C and shape D, C and D only will be able to fill the floor without any gaps. Okay, and we need to find the area also. So area of each shape will be 4 square centimeter. Okay, because you see this is 2 and this is 2, so 2 into, we can say they are made of 4 squares, so 4 square centimeter will be the area. Now you need to make designs in your copy by the tiles using these shapes. So if you see, this is one of her tile which looks like this. Okay, I'm drawing it for you. Okay, now if we put another piece of tile like this, over here only, so it forms a perfect pattern. So you need to draw these pattern in your notebook. Now you can create your own new tiles out of a square. Okay, and you can do it with the same with triangles also, so you can try and make new tiles on your own. So with this we have come to an end to this chapter. Thank you for watching the video. Please like the video and subscribe to our channel for more such videos. Thank you.